What's up, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 335. I don't know, Wunder.
I got the new Pringles Mingles, jalapeno and queso.
I've never had the Mingles.
They're kind of like a cheese puff, like texture-wise. They definitely have they kind of taste like a jalapeno Cheeto.
Those beer, the like beer braised steak or whatever ones are back, and that has me really happy.
They're pretty good.
I tried them because the can looked different than what I remember, so I only bought one can. And then I was like, fuck yeah, these are the same ones. And then I got sad that I only had one can. You know how it is.
You can bulk order them online.
Might have to.
For cheaper, usually.
Normally.
So, what's going on in the realm of your world?
Absolutely nothing. My setup's redone. Now you can see the PlayStation and the computer.
I see that. That's strange.
Why is it strange?
Just because 90% of the time you don't see the actual computer in the background. It's usually next to the monitor. So
my desk isn't big enough for that anymore.
I'm sure
to be able to fit in this spot, that need I remind you, on every layout for this place that we got, this little dining room area that I'm in is supposed to be 10 feet by 10 feet. My desk that was like 6 feet wide would not fit. It hung out into the hallway. But the funny part is, with the old desk, the amount of space that needed cut off to make it fit in here was exactly the amount of space my computer took up. So I had to figure that out. So I also had to drill holes through this cabinet so I could run cables. And yeah, it's been a time. It's a place. It's a thing. But hey, I so far, knock on this fake wood that is my tabletop, have not had internet issues.
I'm sure your speeds have been a little bit mooey better.
Yes, but not as good as what I'm paying for, which annoys me. Because I'm like hardwired, so it shouldn't be this, but it's also like whatever, man.
I mean, it's a lot better than mine, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. It's still not as good as it was back downtown.
I know.
Like, I'm paying not double the amount, but I'm paying for double the speed I had downtown to basically get the speed I had downtown, which sucks. But
is it the same company?
Yep. That's think weird. There's something weird with how it exists in this building. I think there's something weird with this building.
I wonder if they've only got like Cat 5 line or some shit.
Right? Who knows?
And the other building that you lived in was upgraded and had like Cat 6 or above or something.
Yeah. Who knows? Like, I don't know exactly what or how or why it happened. But I do know I'm going through it. I was going to make breakfast burritos for my food this week because I was like, I have sausage, I have bacon, I might as well do that. My potatoes aren't good anymore.
Oh.
So I can't make the hash browns to put in them. And I also realized I like to copy like Taco John's. So I want to put like nacho cheese or at least some sort of creamy cheese spread. Like, it can just be a can of cheddar cheese. I don't care. But like, I don't want to use like shredded cheese or just American cheese. I will add that when I'm making the burrito itself, because that's a different flavor and texture thing. But it's like in the goop, right? The sausage, the bacon, the potatoes, the eggs. I want a cheese sauce of some kind. And I don't have cheese either. I don't have my can of nacho or non-nacho cheese. So that part's also tough.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you okay?
He's being executed.
Oh. She come in here like my daughter did something. And I guess not.
Oh, when Tatum's bad, she becomes your daughter.
Mm-hmm. Kind of.
That's valid. That's deserved, to be honest. Random floating child appearance. That's really funny.
Yeah. She's been having a fun time with Rena and all the kids.
Yeah. The kids are definitely excited.
They're always going places and
yeah.
I know.
How long until you get an explosion? Over under 5 minutes.
I don't know. Yeah, we're okay for a little bit. But I'm scared for when it does happen.
Why?
Because she has not pooped in 2 days.
Oh.
So.
Interesting.
I mean,
I thought she did earlier because when I was on the phone with Mom, she was changing diapers. So I thought.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's had like little ones, but like 2 days of barely anything, and it's got me nervous.
Yeah, but so yeah.
Because last time she did this, there was shit all over her outfit and all over the car seat and just everywhere.
Now it's gonna be all over you.
The worst part is we didn't realize it was all over the car seat until I went to go put her back in it like a day later. And there was just dried shit everywhere.
Nice.
So I had to get a wet wipe and scrub the car seat.
Gross. But yeah, so all those issues with the breakfast burrito making. So I'm not going to do that. So I was like, oh, I'll go get food. And then it's like, so I know the headline keeps being Taco Bell's being investigated because of the outbreak of whatever that thing is, which isn't actually what's happening. You know, the parasite that's causing people explosive diarrhea. That's the medical term we're using for this, which is really funny. But it's not exactly that Taco Bell's being investigated. They're just also part of it, and Taco Bell's supply chain is easier to follow than a lot of others. So it's like, hey, if your lettuce has been given this to people, maybe we can figure out what the fuck is happening.
Where it's originating.
Right. Because it's like, it's not just Taco Bell, because it was like a thing in Michigan. They're like, yeah, like a bunch of these people claim to have eaten at Taco Bell, but also this other 60% of these people are like, no, I haven't eaten there in years. So it's obviously not there. It's just they're trying to figure out exactly which, I don't know, farm or whatever all this lettuce and other things are coming from. So I was like, I'm going to go get Taco Bell. And then I was like, well, I don't really want a taco that's just meat and cheese from Taco Bell. That's not really what I want. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I'll go to Subway. And then it's like, well, Subway without robbing them of all their vegetables isn't really good.
Right.
It's like, man, I didn't realize how much I liked vegetables apparently on all of my fast food.
Well, it kind of just, it's like, I don't know. It's like when you make a cake and you don't put eggs in it or something. It's just not going to turn out good.
Yeah.
The flavor is going to be off. It's going to be dry. Probably not baked properly.
Because it's like a bunch of places have like chicken sandwiches, but it's like, I don't know, chicken sandwich feels like it requires lettuce. I don't know.
You should just go to Walmart or something, pick up some frozen hash browns or some potatoes.
Yeah,
if they have them. We've had an issue with our Walmart that half the goddamn produce is gone
because of all this shit.
Well, it's not just that, because it's been 2 years in the making now. We just, every time we go there, all the shit's just either not stocked yet or been sold or bad or whatever. But yeah, I'm the same way with breakfast burritos though too. It's got to have something. Nothing annoys me more than a dry breakfast burrito.
Right.
And by adding, queso or something like that to the mix, it keeps a burrito nice and moist, and I don't have to have salsa on it.
Yep.
Not that I don't like salsa, but typically a good breakfast burrito, I won't have to have any salsa on it, and it's just perfect.
Right. So. And like, I can't have salsa anymore. Not really. I don't want to keep it in the house because girlfriend's allergic to things in salsa. I don't know if it's actually capsaicin or if it's something with peppers, because she gets the same allergic reaction from like bell peppers, which don't have capsaicin. So I haven't. And then like she can eat paprika, which has capsaicin. So I don't know exactly what thing she's allergic to. That's the.
I mean, you look at people that are allergic to red dyes versus, other dyes. It's like, there's not much difference between that dye and that dye, but for some reason, that one I'm allergic to.
Yep. So it's like, I don't keep hot sauce in the house anymore. I don't keep salsa. I don't have that because it's a problem for her. So it's like, when I'm making these breakfast burritos, I need them to be fine without it, because otherwise I'm fucked.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah. And then, yeah, it is funny though, because like salsa is like and hot sauce is like one of my favorite things. And one of her favorite things is peanut butter. So we both gonna be like, well, I guess it's even.
Right? Like, I can kill you just as easily as you can kill me.
Yep.
It's kind of like pointing guns at each other. It's whoever pulls the trigger first.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh. But yeah.
Want the binky? Want the binky? Yeah, there we go. That slaps. A good binky slaps,
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. What is... Oh, I've been trying to search for my food answer. Wonder for... Oh, I am very excited. Have you heard the news? Good news, everyone.
I have not heard the future.
The KFC news. The popcorn chicken is back.
Oh. That's good.
You know how long it's been since KFC's had popcorn chicken?
I don't know if I've ever had KFC's popcorn chicken. Honestly, for having a KFC that's only like... For having a KFC that's not that far away, I think the last time I ate KFC was when we did that video. So...
That tracks.
Very rarely do I ever eat KFC.
Lame. Ooh.
Here. Up on there. Quit being a boo-hoo baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
So. Popcorn chicken's back. So at McDonald's, it costs you $10 for like a 20-piece chicken nugget. For $10, you can go to KFC and get a 50-piece bucket of popcorn chicken.
Holy shit.
And it's real chicken because it's KFC. So, and I get it. McDonald's is real chicken too. It's just an amalgamation of chicken bits. The KFC popcorn chicken is just like chicken breast in little chunks. So it's slightly better. Like, I get it.
It's like freaking McDonald's chicken is like a hot dog in a way. It's a collaboration of chicken. Why are you being so squirmy? I think I know why. Because you have to poop eat. Anyway, work sucked from Thursday on, pretty much.
Fair. Why?
Oh yeah, that was specifically remember saying we were going to save this for the podcast, but
yeah, there was something.
What are you doing? So last Thursday, we had they have a thing. We have like RV points and stuff, and honey, what's the matter? What's the matter, huh?
Oh, angry baby.
Oh, mommy's here. All better.
Yep, that's how it works.
Yeah, all better. So, anyway, we have these things in that at the RV point. They're called stingers, and basically what they are is they're like a piece of PVC pipe that have foam insulation, and then there's the 3/4 inch copper line that runs in the middle of them, and they're 7 feet long, and then at the top of them they have basically a spigot on it, so that you can hook up to water with an RV. And then there's also like utility hookup right there too, so you can have head honchos, generals, whatever, bring in their stuff, and they can hook up to these RV points and not have to stay in like the hotel rooms or whatever. They can be more comfortable in their own RVs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have this electrical probe that's, I don't know, 2 foot long or so, that goes down in next to the copper pipe, and that's supposed to keep it from freezing over winter. Well, if the power goes or the outlet goes bad, then it freezes, and then I have to replace the whole stinger because the pipe going through the stinger is froze and split open, so it just leaks everywhere. And so anyway, I have to. Last Thursday, I proceeded to dig a 7-foot hole in ground that's like concrete in 45 minutes by myself before lunch. And so it looked like I ran through a sprinkler because I had sweat so much. And but anyway, I get done with the hole and I've kind of got it exposed, got all the way down to the bottom, and all it is just thread, a water line that's got some threads on it, like a 3/4 inch thread, and you just screw these stingers onto them. Well, because the thread is not on the stinger, the stinger is technically the female side. I can't tape up above the hole and then put it down in there and screw it on there to keep it from leaking.
Mm-hmm.
I have to actually get down in the hole, and when the hole's only this big, I'm not going head first in a hole that's only this big, that's 7 foot deep, because if I can't get out, people might not know I'm there for days, and I don't want to do that. And so I decide to pause and go to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to lunch, and it's like normal. Every day for lunch, we go in. We all have this big, like, kind of conference table that we all sit around and stuff. And usually we'll eat our lunch, and then we all start a game of cribbage. There's usually 4 of us that play, and so we're sitting there, and we're about, I don't know, a few minutes into our first game and stuff. And we deal out cards, and one of my coworkers is just staring at the cards and not picking them up, and then he kind of just puts his head down on the table, and he sits back up, and he's looking, and we're like, "You all right, man? You doing okay?" So I thought he was not feeling well, like maybe he's gonna get sick or something like that. He just kind of got this blank stare on his face, and then all of a sudden I start seeing his hand kind of doing some twitching, and then his lip starts twitching. And I had known that this coworker of mine had been having problems with seizures. And so I immediately got up, ran to the bathroom, got towels and cold water on the towels, and came back in, because sometimes if you stimulate, you put on the neck, and it's like a stimulant, and it won't stop the seizure usually, but might help. But by the time I had gotten back into the break room, he was full blown seizing and was just doubled over the table. And my other coworker, actually my boss, was trying to hold him up by his arm. And so I went around the side of the table and got him underneath the arms like this. And I was like, let's take him down to the ground, because you don't want him to fall and hurt something or hit his head or anything like that. So took him down to the ground, got him rolled onto his side. Well, during that process, he bit through his cheek and bled all over himself and all over me. And once I got him down to the ground, I realized that he had seized with his mouth closed, and so he couldn't breathe through his mouth, and he wasn't breathing at all. So he just turned like completely blue for like 35, 40 seconds or so. And so I started taking my knuckle and really rubbing on his chest right here, trying to stimulate his body to start breathing. And after about 40 seconds or so, he started taking real labored breaths through his nostrils, and the color started coming back to his face for a little bit. And I was like, okay, we're all right, you know. Just need him to breathe, because there's not really much you can do with people who are having seizures other than just kind of try to keep them from hurting themselves. You know, you can't really restrain them or nothing. Just keep them on their side. You know, just make sure that they don't hurt themselves. And finally, after about a minute and 30 seconds, he started to stop seizing, and once he fully stopped seizing, he relaxed, and he didn't know what was going on. He was completely disoriented. His body is completely wore out. I just kind of had him. I kind of turned. You know, he tried to set himself up, so I helped him set up a little bit, and then I just kind of held him underneath the arms, and just kind of sat back up against the wall with him, and just held him up, and just kind of kept rubbing his chest and, you know, talking to him, telling him, you know, letting him know, hey, you had a seizure, you know, everything's gonna be okay. Just sit there, just relax, you know. I know you're confused. Just sit there, just hang out, you know. There's no rush. And eventually, I think it started to dawn on him what had happened. And my boss had called 911, so then the paramedics showed up, and they were coming in and they were asking questions. And, you know, I was like, hey, you know, he had a seizure. It lasted about a minute and 30 seconds. He bit his cheek. That's what the blood's from. He stopped breathing for about 35 seconds or so. He was blue in the face, but was able to get him breathing again. He seems to be incoherent and disoriented still. And so they were, you know, checking him out and trying to talk to him, and he's just kind of, you know, just sitting there real glassy eyed, you know, because your body goes through an immense amount of stress when you go through a seizure, you know. And so anyway, the paramedics eventually started to try and talk. Well, the paramedics are asking him questions. Well, when you have a seizure, the best way I can describe it is like you have all of this information, like a filing cabinet. And when you have a seizure, it's like you take that filing cabinet and you just pour it all out on the floor. And then when you come out of the seizure, you have to sit there and you got to sift through all of that information on the floor and reorganize it so that you can, you know, start to make sense of things. And that takes that takes a while for your brain to reorganize everything. And so they're asking him questions, and he's talking, and he knows what he's trying to say, but they don't know, like, what he's saying. What's coming out of his mouth is incoherent. There's no, you know, it's just gibberish. Yeah, but he's getting frustrated because they're asking him questions, and he's answering them in his mind. But to us, we can't understand what he's saying.
Yep.
And so I was like, you know, he's trying to gather his wits. Let's all just sit here, you know, let's chill out, and, you know, let him reorganize his thoughts. And eventually, as we kind of sat there, we gave him some oxygen. His oxygen was a little low because obviously he wasn't breathing for a while. So once he got some oxygen, it didn't take but probably 10 minutes or so, and he started making a little bit of sense in his when he was talking and stuff. And by the time the ambulance got there, he was, tired, but he was talking. You
Mm-hmm.
could understand what he was saying. He was still kind of mixing up words a little bit, but he was obviously, progressing really fast and doing a lot better. And they were asking, well, how do you feel? And he's like, I feel fine. He's like, this is what happens every time I get, I have a seizure. I wake up, I'm confused, and after about an hour, hour and a half, it's like it never happened. And what's weird about it is he was telling me that, like, it's not a thing, it's not something he struggled with his whole life. It's like a few years ago it just started happening out of the blue.
Weird.
um so I was like, that's just strange. And then he's like, he's seeing a neurologist,
Mm-hmm.
and he's seen a couple of them now, and all they do is try to medicate. And you know they're just like, oh well, we're just gonna have to up your medication, or let's try this. Or but the problem is, every time they try a medication, they can't change anything or take them off of it or do anything until you have another seizure. So, which makes sense, because like you don't want to change something if it's working.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully he figures it out. He's never had any traumatic brain injury or anything like that. Um, Usually, if you have epilepsy, you have it from birth, really. Um, but yeah, it's they're not really sure what's wrong with him, what's causing the seizures and stuff, because they were like, well, maybe it's stress induced. And it's like, well, I don't think that, because he was literally sitting there playing cards, laughing, completely relaxed. We're going into a long weekend. He had a good week of work. He was telling us about how he had a good week of work,
Mm-hmm.
and was excited for the weekend. That to me is not a stressed out person. So I don't know. Kind of, it got very stressful and very chaotic in a hurry. But best thing you can do when something like this happens is to stay calm. Just make sure that they don't hurt themselves, and you put them on their side so that they don't, you know, suffocate, basically. But after the paramedics were getting ready to leave and stuff, I stood up, and he was just kind of sitting there talking with the other paramedic, and there was a gal there, and she was like, man, you did an awesome job. And I was like, well, it's it's not that I'm not used to it. I'm on the fire department for my town, and I told her what town, and she goes, oh, okay, well that makes a little more sense. And she's like, well, have you ever thought about becoming a paramedic? I was like, well, I've thought about it, but I just don't have the time to be able to do it. Like, we've already gone, the classes in our area have already came and gone. Cody got it, but it was held in a town that's an hour away from me, and it starts at 5 o'clock, and I don't get off work until 4:30. So there's no way I'm gonna make it to these classes. And
Yeah.
this is the type of thing that you can't miss information and then pass your exams and
Yeah.
stuff. So it would just be a lost cause for me, and very stressful. And I said, well, someday in the future, if I'm ever able to do it, maybe we'll see. But for now, I'll just keep on going on the EMS calls and just assisting. So this is my first seizure where it happened like from start, where I was there from start, because usually when I get there with our EMTs, it is already came and went, and it's just a matter of giving them oxygen and just chilling with them for a little bit until they're able to take care of themselves again. Because most people, they don't go to the hospital because it's a reoccurring thing, and so they'll refuse transport because they're used to it. They're like, it happens. But I don't know, kind of crazy day last week.
Yeah, that sounds a little insane.
So then, yeah. But anyway, this week I finally after 2 days, have finished up that stupid stinger. It took me 7.5 hours of labor to repair one stinger. I was very annoyed.
I bet you were. That's fair. Sounds like a ton of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But our raises went into effect, so that's
Nice.
exciting.
That is good.
And over the weekend, so Friday was my birthday.
Yep. My bad.
My plan for my birthday was to do literally nothing.
Yeah.
And that plan did not go well because about 8 o'clock on Friday at night, my boss calls me, and I'm the only one apparently sober enough to come into work because we had an emergency. One of our buildings was without power, and it's like one of the main training facilities, so it's a big deal if it doesn't have power. So I go into work and got there, I don't know, about 8 o'clock at night or so, and was confused because usually when there's a power issue, it's more than one building, but it was just one building all by itself. And I'm like, well, that's weird, because the building right next to it gets the same power. And so I was like, well, maybe the main breaker or something like that was faulty or tripped or whatever. So I walked in there and I reset it, and I was like, okay. According to the transfer switch from the backup generator, the generator had been running since Wednesday, which we had a power outage that day. And but the power came back, but apparently it never came back online for this building. But the generator was running, so nobody knew that the building did not have actual main power. It was being run off the backup generator. And the generator ran out of gas, and that's why we finally noticed that, there was a problem. So we looked around, couldn't figure out what was going on. So I was like, well, it has to be from either the transformer or past the transformer, because there's power going to the transformer, and it's one of those big, like 750, I think they call it joule or something like that, ground mounted transformer, and it's really big. And so I was like, well, maybe it's the transformer or it's something past that. And so had my boss, so he's like, all right, well, if you need help, just let me know. I'll come out. Well, he's the guy that worked for a power company for a while, and so he's got more experience when it comes to that type of stuff. And he came out and deduced that it was either the transformer or something in the building. And so it took us till about 11:30 to figure that out and cross all our P's and Q's up until that point. And so we were just told by our higher up boss that, hey, just refill the generator with whatever diesel you can find on camp, and we'll figure it out later. Well, all we have on camp are like little 100-gallon tanks, and the tank on the diesel generator is 1,000-gallon tank. And the 100-gallon tanks pumping into that, they take forever.
Yeah.
And it's like a gallon a minute type thing. It's ridiculously slow. And so we didn't leave work until after 1 o'clock in the morning, which was ridiculous. And what happened? And then for the whole weekend, we were basically having to go back in and refuel, because it goes through about 300 gallons a day, but we're only putting 400 gallons every time we refuel it, because that's all the bigger tanks we have. So and we don't have any fuel on camp because those have been down for literal years now. And so we have to go to neighboring towns with state facilities in order to get fuel. And so that takes forever.
Yeah.
So needless to say, over the weekend, I think I spent more time at work than I did at home. But the nice part is I've got about 55 hours of comp time now that I will be using for October for hunting and our honeymoon.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's the one nice thing about it. But I don't know. It was an annoying weekend.
Yeah, that sounds not great.
Yeah.
Oof. Great way to spend your birthday.
Yeah. I should have been a streamer.
Don't worry, it doesn't always get better. It's not always good on your birthday. Sometimes it is, but it's not always.
Right. Yeah. So, but anyway, I got a little bit spoiled for my birthday.
Yeah, what'd you get?
My folks and my sister pulled their money together and bought me one of those like Milwaukee. They're like a soft shell bag, but they kind of have the hard sides on it. But it's a big bag, and it has like power drills and the little saw and grinder and a bunch of different tools, Milwaukee tools, because I keep having to go over to their place and borrow their tools, and then they're like, "Do you by chance have our tool?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, crap, I forgot to bring that back." And I think they got tired of me borrowing their tools, so they just bought me my own set of Milwaukee tools. So I leave theirs alone.
Wow.
And then I got like a hat and some like water jugs and some cooking utensils and stuff for my Blackstone flat top grill. So, yeah, that's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where like people ask me, "What do you want for your birthday?" And it's like, I don't know, a day off. That's I don't know. I want to be lazy and do nothing. Is that a birthday gift? How about socks? I'll take socks.
No socks for you.
No.
Oh yeah, I think there's a chance that tonight I get to ruin your life.
Oh?
I think we're doing another it won't really be me, but so on Run the North I told you we've been doing redrafts and all that. I can finally tell you, at least from the 3 so far, who the Bills would have. So 2012 you would have drafted Bobby Wagner. Yep. I thought I was looking at the wrong spot. In 2014, you would have drafted Taylor Lewan, who would be playing tackle for you. And then in 2021, you would have drafted Odefa Owa instead of, well, I don't know I don't remember who you actually got in the first round, but you'd be getting Odefa Owa, and he'd be replacing Greg Rousseau, which is really interesting because the Ravens end up with Greg Rousseau. And I was like, well, neither of them are really that good of a pass rusher. I mean, if you look at the numbers, Owa reads is better, but he's a way better run defender, which is something the Bills kind of need more. They need a premier pass rusher. You were never going to get one at this point in this draft.
Right.
But it's like the Ravens just want the pass rusher, and they don't need the run help. It's like they kind of would have been better if they just flipped those two guys.
Right. I was about to say, well, Rousseau is better at run defending than he is pass rushing.
Not actually.
I don't know. You look up his numbers. I think he excels a lot better at run defense than he does getting to the passer. So
no, he's just not great at getting to the passer. He's just not great. But it's okay. In that class, the Vikings got Milton Williams, so their defensive tackle problem would be solved.
Right.
Yeah, for some reason, Caleb made the Jaguars pick Micah Parsons.
Why?
Oh. We talked about this one. I still can't get over it, though. And then he, when picking for the Bengals, went offensive line because Jamar Chase was off the board, which makes sense.
Right.
But he goes Sewell and doesn't care about the argument that Sewell's actually not good in pass protection. And he's really only the best in the league at run blocking. And you just sent him to a team that doesn't run the fucking football. When Christian Darrisaw, who is the best pass protecting offensive lineman in football, is just sitting there. It's like, I think I would have rather had Darrisaw, especially if I'm the Bengals.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to argue the health thing, that's fair, but also it's the Bengals. They don't care about health. Their quarterback's Joe Burrow.
Yeah. They try to kill him as much as they can for some reason. Yeah. So that league thing you had me join, it's just pick who you think it wins,
that one's just, you just...
And do you have to do it all at once, or is that a week-by-week thing?
That's up to you.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
You have to submit it.
Like
you have to submit it by whatever. Like that week's by whatever. I think it'll probably be Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be Thursday or Wednesday. I don't really know how that part works, but yeah, it'll just be you have to submit your picks before the games that week.
Right. Well, I've already picked, I think, all of my answers, but I think if I'm able to, I'll edit them as the teams progress. Because honestly, it's kind of a question mark for our side of the football of who's going to do what and where. So, like, I like, are the Lions going to be awesome or are they going to be ass? Or, like, it's just so much of it's going to have to be a week by week freaking, who's going to get hurt? Is Joe Burrow going to go down? Because I had the Bengals winning quite a few games. Is Burrow going to get injured, or is somebody going to get injured that matters and change my vote on who's going to win that game, or what's going to happen?
Fair. Sorry. I was texting my sister because we always sign up for, there's a picks thing hosted by the radio station back home that I just texted her. I was like, does that actually have a prize, or are we just doing that because you want to compare the picks thing? Because if you just want to do that, I should just invite her to that.
And then, no, I'm pretty sure there's prizes usually. If the radio does something like that, there's usually some kind of prize. All I know is I don't look forward to going to fire meeting tonight.
Why not?
Because I have to be secretary.
Why?
Which is Cody's job, because he is off in Colorado fighting a fire right now.
Fun. Which one?
Not 100% sure. It just popped off like yesterday. So.
Oh, okay. Because
it's not the real big one that's not far from you.
Yeah. Because there's the huge one. I don't know how that one's doing. I should go look.
It's not the Willow Fire or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called either. Aspen Acres.
Oh, Aspen Fire. Yeah. Yep.
Which that one's up to 36% containment now, and it's almost burned 100,000 acres.
Well, it don't take long up there. It's a lot of thick, rough country with a lot of trees and.
Well, and I've learned recently that Colorado does this fun thing where they don't do any fire prevention ever.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go cut down all the dead trees. They don't do controlled burns for anything. They just let things happen.
Right. They're like California. They want things to be natural, which I get that to a certain point.
Yeah.
But also there's a certain point where it's stupid to let things get overgrown, because this is the reason why. It makes it nearly impossible to fight a fire when it pops off. So I don't know.
Fair.
It's just going to be a bad year, fires, just because of how rowdy it's been. But I don't know. But yeah, I got to take our minutes and read off last month's meeting and I'm just not looking forward to it because it was hot today and the heat wears me out, makes me tired, makes me not want to do anything. So, because I'm just a bum.
Real.
But, well.
Yeah. It's nice. This desk, this spot. So there's a ceiling fan above me and a fucking AC vent right behind it. So
there you go.
Compared to the rest of the house, I get fucking cold sitting here.
Oh, well, that's good.
The rest of the house, it's like, it's kind of warm. And then I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm fucking freezing, dude. It's great.
Yeah. So Aspen and I have been looking into maybe getting a car after we go on our honeymoon and stuff. And that might be getting set aside. And we might be looking into getting central air before we do a car. Because this house gets very hot when we get consecutive days of 100-degree weather.
Yep.
We have 3 air conditioners.
Yep.
And it's still hot in this house. But part of the reason why we can't run all 3 air conditioners because the living room and the bedroom, the master bedroom, are on the same circuit. And so when you run both air conditioners, it pops the breaker. So we have to alternate back and forth. So we'll have it running out in the living room, and then when we're getting ready for bed, we'll shut the one in the living room off and go turn the one in the bedroom on so that our bedroom's not 100 million degrees. So, and we got like 3 fans going and all the ceiling fans going. And so, I don't know. I know it's going to be very expensive for central air because the only thing that's going to be nice, like that'll save us money, is we already have ductwork.
Yeah.
So like we have a furnace, we just don't have, we don't have a compatible furnace that's you can put an A-frame in, and then run the coolant to. So we're gonna have to replace the whole furnace, which I'm gonna do anyway, just because the furnace is like, it's probably 15 years old or so. And the panels on the front are kind of broke and doesn't latch like it should. So the air filters don't stay where they're supposed to be. And so there gets to be a lot of dust that compiles on the air filter really fast. And then it also makes its way down the ductwork. So like when you turn on the furnace for the first time in a long time, you get a little bit of dust that comes out of the vents. So getting an all new furnace and air conditioning unit would be nice and fix that problem.
How bad do you think it's going to be?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be around $10,000.
What size is your furnace currently? I'm looking at a website. I wanted to see how much things costed.
Well, I want to say it's 7 foot tall.
Oh, like how many BTUs?
Oh hell, I don't know. I'd have to look at that.
Yeah,
I'd have to go look at the little tag.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know what it would actually be. That's why I'm because the website just starts off with 40,000 as the size of the thing, and for AC furnace that system, it's $2,800.
Right.
That's not that bad.
Okay, now we'll look at the compressor and the unit itself.
No,
that's outside.
All of it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's the furnace and the A-frame. That is not including the external compressor.
It is, though.
I don't think so. Because the cheapest one I've found in our area is $5,000. So
this isn't in your area technically. It's just online. You have to order it. I don't know if this site's good or not. The reviews seem good.
I was say, is it refurbished or what?
No.
Huh.
But you also might need a bigger one.
I was about to say, it must be itty bitty then.
I don't know.
Because
I don't know that's.
Our house isn't the biggest house in the world, but it's still over 1,500 square feet. It's a 3-bed 2-bath house. But it's, I mean, the furnace that's in it is a fairly large furnace. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it's everything. I don't fully know, but I think it's everything.
But it's, so even then, what'd you say, $2,800?
Yeah.
So they're looking at $2,800 just for the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna have to run the copper line from your compressor to your A-frame. That's going to cost money because copper is extremely expensive right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then having the guy, having to pay for the labor, which that's usually $200 an hour or more. So not going to be that. It's still going to be $8,000 to $10,000, even at that. So
fair.
Which I'm starting to think is worth it. So
yeah, being too hot all the time fucking sucks.
It does too. Well,
and being too cold all the time fucking sucks. That's my least favorite thing about this apartment. All the windows are single pane, so no matter what I'm doing, it's like AC or heat has to run all the time because the apartment itself just lets it out.
Right. Well, and our house is not, I mean, it's well insulated and it holds quite a bit, but consecutive hot days and it doesn't even cool off at night. That's when it starts to get hot in here. But in the winter time, we don't seem to have any issues because we have a furnace, and I also have a stove too. And if it gets cold enough, I just, throw some logs in the stove and bam, we're good to go. And it stays really comfortable in here in the wintertime. But also, it's going to save me money by putting the furnace and air conditioning central air in, because running these 3 air conditioners has raised my bill like $100 or more.
Oh, dude!
And I'm going to see what it is. Because it was, we only ran them for half the month half the month last month. So this is going to be a full month of just constantly running air conditioners. So I'm sure. So I don't know. I think overall, central air is going to be a more efficient, and it cools the house down enough that it actually will kick off, so it's not constantly running all the time, which would save me money. So that's what's nice about these newer units, is they tend to be fairly efficient. They get the house to what temperature you need it, and it kicks off, and it's not like the trailer house we were living in where you could literally feel the cold air coming through the wall.
Yeah.
That was rough. And then having to duct tape the windows to keep the snow out.
Also not ideal.
Yeah. And then, I don't know if I ever told you this, but when we were staying at the trailer house, we had a really bad windstorm, and we had a branch that broke off one of the trees that was by the house. And the branch wasn't very big. It was like, I don't know, like this big around, and I don't know, maybe 10 feet long or so. Kind of a flimsy little branch. Well, I was actually mowing around the house, and I was going by the back side of the house, and I looked, and I'm like, what the hell? There's a hole in the wall, like the siding and stuff. And I'm like, well, shit, I figured out that branch, because that branch was laying right there. So I was like, well, shit, that branch must have freaking punched a hole through the siding. So I didn't think much of it, went and grabbed a can of foam and just sprayed it just to seal it off for now, and went back inside, and I just happened to glance behind the recliner and realized that branch had punched all the way through the siding and into the house. And like, after I sprayed the foam into that hole, it expanded and like just pushed all of the drywall, how that trailer house wall type stuff is. It's kind of like a drywall, but it's thinner, and it just had this big old hole right behind it. It just punched a hole all the way clean through the side of the building.
That's crazy.
And so all I could think about was like, imagine being in a tornado or something in that trailer house. And then, I mean, you're going to have like
Yeah.
straw and grass going through the side of the house because that's how flimsy that shit is.
That's crazy.
I don't understand how people can live in trailer houses in states like Oklahoma and stuff, Kansas, where they're in like smack dab in the middle of Tornado Alley.
Well, when there's actually tornadoes around all the time, it doesn't really matter what house you build, so they're going with the cheapest option because they're all getting destroyed no matter what.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I would have to live in a house that has a basement. What trailer house has a basement?
Well, most of them,
many.
the like plot of land they're on has the little fucking tornado shelter. It's not built into the basement. You go get in the thing because that's actually built well.
Right. Some places have that, but that's what's insane. Like trailer parks and stuff, 90% of the trailer parks in like the middle of Kansas has no tornado shelters. So here's a populace of 150 people in this trailer park that has 0 freaking tornado shelters. And then they wonder why their death rates in that state are so high from tornadoes. Well, that's because people live in trailer houses and don't have anywhere to hide from tornadoes.
That's fair.
And tornadoes crumple up trailer houses like empty pop cans. So
yeah,
I don't know. Your odds of survival in a tornado, even if it's like an EF2 or something in a trailer house, is not in your favor.
Yeah, so. I don't know. It's all bad.
Right. I know.
Oh.
It sucks because our house does not have a basement. Like if we had to, we could get like there's a concrete foundation that's 4 feet tall, which is annoying to me. It's like, why didn't you just make it another 4 feet tall and just have a basement? Like at that time in early 2000s, concrete was much cheaper. And so I don't know. I get it. Maybe they didn't have the money, but like still, it's like all you had to do is another 4 foot, which is, not that much more concrete because it's just wall. So, and then you could have had a full blown basement. But I digress, I guess.
Yeah.
We have to go to our neighbors behind the house if we have a tornado. Hide in their basement, which is the chief of the assistant chief of the fire department. So we go over there and play games and have dinner every once in a while. So
that's nice.
Yeah, just try to be neighborly, not be complete hermits.
I like being a hermit. My neighbors are weird.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. It's fun. Like, to me, like just knowing people that have stayed in apartments is like the people and the characters that you come across in apartments.
Well, but it's the thing, though.
Interesting.
You can't just say it's an apartment thing. I'm sure you have insane neighbors, too. You just don't have to interact with them in the same way.
Right, exactly. But, like...
Yeah.
It's funny because you could just have, like, this side of you is, completely polar opposite from the guy that's on this side of you. Or, I should say.
Yeah.
It's just the diverse communities that live in apartment complexes and they have to coexist with each other in a way. It's just funny sometimes.
Yeah.
You ever watch that show Fear Thy Neighbor?
No.
Well, it's nuts. Like there's some episodes on there that is just outright wild, and it always ends up like in the extreme cases, like one neighbor ends up shooting the other one or stabbing them or beating the other one to an inch of their life, or somebody dies, or and it's like crazy because 90% of the time it's like, oh, we're a new family, we move into this neighborhood, and then they have this neighbor and it always starts off like super great and oh they're awesome and our neighbors are cool and blah blah blah, and then like one little thing happens and then it starts to just slowly go downhill from there, and then it just turns into a complete nightmare. It's like the transition is nuts on this show. But
fair. We I've never seen that show. That sounds intriguing. I don't know if that'll be one we watch. We just finished catching up on The Rookie.
Oh, yeah.
Have you watched that one yet?
We've watched it all, yeah.
It's so good. I love The Rookie.
We're waiting for the next season.
And then we just started and are about to finish Ted Lasso.
Oh.
Which that one's only on Apple TV, so I don't know if you can watch that one.
I was about to say, we haven't watched that one.
I love Ted Lasso.
We don't pay for Apple TV, so. But we've been doing the Dutton Ranch in Marshalls, which we finished Marshalls, and now we've finished Dutton Ranch also. So.
Yeah,
now we're actually watching. It's got Spider-Man's girlfriend on it.
Are you watching Euphoria?
Euphoria. We're watching that one.
Weird that you would start that one. I don't. That's crazy.
Let me tell you what. It is like Aspen said. She's like, because after the first couple of episodes, we were just like looking at each other like, what? It's like a train wreck. Like, it's a train wreck, but you can't like not watch it. You know,
can't look away.
It's like a train that's about to hit a car. You got to watch it. And then after that, it's like, what the fuck?
That's surprising to me that you're watching that. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the Marshalls one, the other Yellowstone spinoff. I refuse to watch it because it ruins the show. It's really stupid and I hate it.
Yeah.
You ruin Casey as a character.
Right.
Also, you could make another shitty cop show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we're enjoying the Dutton Ranch a lot more than we're enjoying Marshalls, so I will say that.
Yeah, which is fair.
And the only reason why we can half-ass enjoy Marshalls is because we haven't even seen like the whole last season of the regular Yellowstone.
Oh, you need to, so you can hate that show.
Right. Well, now I don't want to because the show is like okay, and I haven't seen the. Yeah, I'm sure if I watch the last season of regular Yellowstone, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? And then I'm not gonna be able to watch Marshalls, and then I won't have nothing to do. So,
which is good because you can go watch House of the Dragon instead.
That's true, but we have to watch. I have to rewatch all of that with Aspen because I know we watched a few episodes, but I don't remember where we left off with her, and she doesn't remember anything about it. So we have to watch it all from the beginning, and it's going to be a binge watch type thing because I don't like doing stuff like that and then just, having to come back to it months later and remember where we were at. So.
Fair.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I agree.
Everything's ridiculous.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Well, I guess you probably got some stuff to do, so.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for fire meeting, so.
Ugh. Have fun with that. Let me know if you get home at a normal person's time.
Yeah, we'll see, because it's the meeting after the 4th of July. So sometimes it goes really fast, or sometimes it takes forever because we have stuff we have to talk about and address. And
yep. So let me know.
Hopefully quickly. But I will.
All right, I guess that'll do it for us. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.